Kenny McGee.
And I'm Eddie Lewis, and we're the Fantasy Addicts.
This is all about dialogue. You don't like something that we say? Call us out, and I'll holler back. I'll let you know how I feel about your opinion. But, you know, don't come weak. Don't come with something that you read from ESPN that morning. I can smell Michael Berry from a damn mile away at this point. Maybe we'll all learn something, come home with a little gold trophy or something, a little loot. Right, so to the business at hand.
I say the best way to prepare for your draft this year is to do as many mock drafts as you can.
We finally got 12 people who are going to hang out for the duration of the draft so we could use it to analyze on this show. So with the first pick in the draft, surprise, LaDainian Tomlinson. I know you love him.
I love it, man. He's the fantasy MVP year in, year out.
True.
He's the #1 back on the board. Last 4 years, he had 15 touchdowns rushing, 28 the year before, 18, 17 the year before that. How can you go wrong with that? Lowest carries ever in a season for LT, 313.
And that's exactly my issue. He's averaged around 350 for the 7 years he's been in the league, 350 carries. He hurt his knee at the end of last year. He's 29 years old. His whole offense is banged up. I don't think it's a no-brainer anymore.
So if you don't take LT with the first pick, man, who do you take?
Well, I mean, that probably takes us to pick number 3 when I took Tom Brady, but we'll get to that in due time.
With the second pick in the draft, Adrian Peterson.
AD all day. I will avoid taking him all day long. No, man, all right, so the hype machine has got this kid. He's going to be Jim Brown and Barry Sanders' love child. Going to lose carries because they're going to try to keep him fresh. If he does get hurt, it's going to be during our fantasy playoffs at the end of the year when he struggled like hell last year.
Adrian Peterson had an awesome year last year, finished amongst the top, in running backs in fantasy football. This year, he's going to have an even better season. You know why? Because they're not starting the season with Chester as their #1 back like they did last year, which ate into his carries. He averaged 5.6 yards a carry last year, man.
Yeah.
And there's a reason everybody's hyping this kid, because he is the truth. Biggest upside in the draft.
Upside is unquestioned. Downside is doo-doo. With the third pick in the draft, my boy, the man who gave me like $800 personally last year. All right, first of all, he's going to be angry. And Mr. Male Model pissed because of last year. They got the easiest schedule, according to Tiny Head John Clayton. They're playing the NFC West and the AFC West, in addition to their own division. That is nasty. Last year, just some numbers to blow y'all's mind, because I know you know he's awesome. 12 games with 3 or more touchdowns. 2 of those he had 5. One of them he had 6.
There's still other quarterbacks out there to be had later in the draft. You can get good value at a running back right here.
Could any of them throw for 40? Because that's Tom Brady at 75%.
All right, with the 4th pick in the draft, Brian Westbrook. Okay, Brian Westbrook never played a full season, man. Can you believe that?
No.
Injury prone. He's never had 300 carries, man. He's not, he can't carry the heavy load.
You're right on both counts.
Not only that, but last year McNabb was hurt. And when McNabb got hurt, they relied on Westbrook more with the running game.
Yeah.
Guess what? McNabb's healthy. He's been eating chunky soup. He's ready.
I think it's win-win. If Donovan's healthy, that offense is dynamic. Brian Westbrook will see the ball a ton still. If he goes down, then Brian Westbrook's the only player on the team, and he has a year like last year. I love riding players for production, yard production, rather than touchdowns. Dude is practically guaranteed, if he's healthy, 2,000 yards. And with the 5th pick in the draft, somebody took Joseph Addai, which I think is crazy talk.
Joseph Addai?
I think it's crazy.
Man, I had him last year, and I was pretty happy with him. He was one of the few guys I was happy with last year. He had 15 touchdowns. He's played 2 years, had over 1,000 yards rushing both years, over 400 yards receiving both years, 40 receptions both years. The Colts, they're going to have plenty of opportunities to score for Joseph Addai. What's not to like?
All those numbers you said sounded great. 1,400 total yards at the 5th pick is horrible. Last 8 games of last season, he broke 100 combined yards once.
All right. So with the 6th pick in the draft, Steven Jackson.
Man, coming off of last year, I don't know why I'm saying it, but I love him. I love him to bounce back. I know he's proven, but not completely proven. He's missing time here, missing time there. But he lost 9 linemen. He lost Bulger. I said 9 linemen. Bulger, he got hurt himself. They were the worst team in football after the Dolphins. And dude still had 1,300 combined yards. That's almost Joseph Adai in his nicest year.
It's too high. He's a big risk for all those same reasons that you just mentioned. How do you know that stuff's not going to happen again? I say you need somebody a lot safer in the first round with your first pick.
I do like the guarantee in the first round, but the upside. Aside from LT, he's the only guy who has a shot at 2,500 combined.
With the 7th pick in the draft, Marion Barber.
The Barbarian.
I love it, man. I love Marion for a lot of reasons. 16 touchdowns the year before, 12 touchdowns last year. Guess what? He didn't start a game. He's
never gone against fresh defenses. They let Julius grind them down. He came into the 4th quarter and went to work.
I don't know if you can call what Julius was doing grinding somebody down.
They got tired of falling on top of Julius so many times. And so by the time Marion Barber would come in, he was fresh. Everybody was struggling, except towards the end of the season. Dude had less than 7 carries, 3 out of the last 4 weeks. With the 8th pick in the draft, Mr. Lewis select Frank Gore. 2 years ago, he had 2,000 combined, 16 touchdowns. Last year was a whole new ball game. San Francisco's horrible. Bringing in Mike Martz is not going to fix the running game.
1,695 yards rushing the year before that. They were on a bad offense last year. I agree with that. But he still had 1,100 yards on a bad offense.
Yeah.
You bring in Martz, that's got to open up things for him. You know what Marshall Faulk used to do in fantasy.
All right, with the 9th pick in the draft, Willis McGahee. I like him. I had Ronnie Brown last year under Cam Cameron. He went to work.
But he's still on a bad offense. They didn't get a big upgrade at the quarterback position with Flacco, whatever his name
is. Joe Skinny?
Yeah, he's not even going to be the guy starting. It's going to be one of the terrible guys from last year.
Right.
They drafted Ray Rice for a reason, man.
He'll take some carries. But McGahee lost some carries to some scrub last year. And still went for nice combined yards, decent touchdowns. The backs who are available, I like them.
With the 10th pick in the draft, Peyton Manning. He's hurt.
Not worried about Peyton's health. The worst touchdown total Peyton Manning's ever had, 28. The worst yardage total Peyton Manning's ever had, 26. My fault, 26. The worst yardage he's ever had, 3,700 yards. The worst. For 11 years he's been in the league.
Hey, but I should have touched
Mr. Automatic. He is going to be a beast again. And the backs are available now. I would rather let everybody else fight over the Ryan Grant, Marshawn Lynch's of the world. With the 11th pick in the draft, Marshawn Lynch.
Marshawn. What's not to like, man? He missed 3 games last year. I'm talking about 3 DNPs. Did not play.
Right.
Still had over 1,100 yards.
Rushing.
Not only that, rushing.
Right.
Rushing. Not only that, but the Bills have a new offense in place. Supposed to get the ball out of the quarterback's hands quick to help Trent Edwards, which means who's going to be getting more receptions.
And with the 12th pick, my favorite pick in the first round, including Brady 3, my favorite pick for value is Moss at number 12.
Randy Moss.
First half he had 11 touchdowns. Second half he had 12 touchdowns. They can't lock up Randy Moss.
Okay.
You can't stop him. And with Brady and that offense, did I say Brady was pissed? They are madder than fire that the Giants beat them in the Super Bowl. I see him. Maybe not at what he did last year because it broke every record in the book, but why not? All right, so 12 picks down, 1 round in the books. I think we got a lot of good information out there to the people.
And you can email us at thefantasyaddicts@gmail.com.
That was good.
That's it.
Allah.